This is Mr. W speaking to all my fellow investigators out there. I invite you to leave behind what you think you know. Close your eyes, let the static of the world fade, and follow me into a story that brushes the edge of reality. Welcome back, fellow investigators. Tonight, we delve into a question that bridges the mystical and the material. A question that reaches into both ancient superstition and cutting-edge science. Can modern technology help us detect the paranormal? From ghosts and haunted houses to unidentified aerial phenomena in our skies, and even to alien abductions, the quest for proof has never been more urgent or more complex. In a world overflowing with cameras, sensors, and satellites, you might assume the age of speculation is over. That with so many eyes in the sky and microphones on the ground, the unexplained should no longer remain unexplained. But strangely, the opposite seems true. Despite the technological explosion of the last few decades, the paranormal remains just as elusive, maybe even more so. Is this because the phenomena aren't real? Or because our tools, despite their sophistication, are simply not designed to detect what lies beyond the ordinary? Let's begin with perhaps the most visible type of unexplained phenomenon, the UFO, or what is now officially known as a UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. In recent years, high-tech military instruments, radar, infrared cameras, and tracking systems have recorded objects moving in ways that defy known physics. The now famous Tic Tac encounter, reported by Commander David Fravor and captured on military infrared footage, is a prime example. The craft exhibited no visible propulsion system, performed sudden accelerations, and outmaneuvered advanced fighter jets with ease. These recordings represent the first time that modern technology caught something truly unidentifiable, in multiple formats, with trained observers watching in real time. This marked a turning point. No longer were UFOs just blurry lights on a shaky handheld camera. Now, they were objects confirmed by multiple tracking systems, observed by military pilots, and declassified by governments. Suddenly, the paranormal had hard data. But here's the strange part. Even with these breakthroughs, the mystery remained. We had more evidence, but not necessarily more clarity. Technology is capable of detecting movement, heat signatures, and electromagnetic fluctuations. But what if the paranormal doesn't play by those rules? What if these phenomena aren't always physical in the way we understand it? Consider paranormal hauntings. Ghost hunters have long used tools like EMF detectors, infrared cameras, spirit boxes, and temperature sensors in an effort to document supernatural activity. Sometimes, these tools register strange spikes or unexplained voices. But critics argue that these anomalies are often the result of environmental noise, device malfunction, or confirmation bias. Still, the question remains, what if some of these devices actually are catching something real, but we just don't know how to interpret the data? Artificial intelligence is beginning to change that. Modern paranormal investigators are starting to run their footage through machine learning algorithms trained to detect anomalies that the human eye might miss. In some cases, AI picks up subtle visual or audio cues that might suggest something beyond normal interference. But again, we hit a wall. We may detect something, but defining what that something is, a ghost, a glitch, or a trick of perception, remains beyond the reach of even the most powerful tools. The same issue arises with alien abductions. Despite thousands of personal testimonies, technology has offered little in the way of hard, reproducible evidence. Abductees often report lost time, strange physical marks, and vivid memories of non-human contact. Yet MRIs, brain scans, and psychological evaluations typically fall short of providing a definitive explanation. Some researchers have proposed that these experiences may involve altered states of consciousness, dimensions of the mind that current instruments cannot adequately access or measure. And this raises a deeper question. Is the paranormal something external or something internal? What if it's not a matter of simply pointing more cameras or launching more satellites? What if the key lies in understanding the interface between consciousness and reality? This perspective is not without precedent. In quantum physics, the role of the observer is crucial in determining the outcome of certain experiments. Reality, it seems, behaves differently depending on whether or not it is being observed. Could the same be true of paranormal phenomena? Some theorists suggest that these anomalies, be they ghosts, UAPs, or entities, may not be physical in the conventional sense, but instead are able to interact with human consciousness in ways we don't yet understand. This might explain why, even when multiple people experience a paranormal event, recording devices often fail to capture it. The experience is real, but possibly non-transferable, as if the phenomenon chooses when and how it manifests. That said, emerging technologies in neuroscience and consciousness studies are beginning to offer new avenues for exploration. Advanced EEGs, real-time brain mapping, and even brain-computer interfaces may one day allow us to detect, or even replicate, altered states associated with paranormal encounters. Imagine a future where we can track the precise neural patterns during an abduction experience, or record changes in the brain during a ghost sighting. Would that bring us closer to truth, or only raise more questions? Satellites and global surveillance networks also play a role in this evolving investigation. The sky is now under constant observation, not just by governments, but by commercial companies and civilian networks. Yet UAP sightings persist, often without being captured. This has led some to speculate that the phenomenon might be capable of evading or disabling digital detection, or, more radically, that it only becomes visible to those it's meant to be seen by. It's a disturbing thought, but one that fits a pattern observed across centuries of folklore, mythology, and modern paranormal accounts. The strange, it seems, is always just out of reach, close enough to be felt, but distant enough to remain unprovable. So, can technology help us detect the paranormal? The answer, perhaps frustratingly, is both yes and no. Yes, because modern instruments have captured data, strange heat signatures, impossible flight paths, voices in empty rooms. Technology has begun to scratch the surface of something mysterious. But no, because that data rarely translates into certainty. The closer we get to the unknown, the more it seems to shape-shift, slipping past the grasp of our machines, defying categorization. Maybe what we need is not just better equipment, but a better approach. One that combines the rigor of science with the openness of philosophical inquiry. One that allows room for consciousness, mystery, and phenomena that don't fit neatly into our current frameworks. Until then, fellow investigators, we must continue our search, not just through telescopes and thermal cameras, but through deeper reflection, sharper questions, and the courage to look at what lies just beyond the edge of the explainable. Because if the truth is out there, it may also be inside us, and the only way forward is to investigate together.